Hi, welcome to this week's video. My name is Paul. So this week I'm going to be looking at and going to be trying some abstract art. And on the screen at the moment you can see some examples, just 4 examples of paintings that I like, abstract paintings. And you can see I prefer a more sort of geometrical abstract art. What I mean is sort of geometrical shapes arranged in patterns. I like, for example, Jackson Pollock and some of that sort of abstract expressionist art. And for example, in the bottom right hand corner you can see a painting by Rothko. Some people call that abstract expressionism, although he never identified with that label himself. So I do like things like Jackson Pollock, but I think I prefer the more geometrical abstract art. Now, I know it's worth addressing at this point. I know that a lot of people don't like abstract art. They don't think it requires, I guess, any skill. A common thing that people say is, you know, my child could do that, or a monkey could do that. I don't want to get into all the negative stuff. If people don't like abstract art, go for it. That's, you know, that's their choice. To me, it's all art. A second sort of whammy thing here is I'm also using, as you can see, I'm not painting with a brush on canvas. I'm using a computer program. Specifically, this program is called Affinity Designer. And again, there are people, and unfortunately also some artists, who look down on digital art. And they say, well, it's not real art, is it? I mean, you're not actually painting this. You're just using a computer. The computer is doing all the work for you. And I get why people say that, but I disagree somewhat, because if you look at what I'm doing here, yes, the computer produces the shapes and the colors, and it's all very convenient, but it's not I don't click on a button and it's all randomly produced. I'm the one who's making the decisions about the shapes, the sizes, the positions, the colors, and all of those things. In other words, all of the elements that go into the final design, those are my choices. So while the medium, if you like, maybe a lot easier to work with and doesn't require a huge amount of skill, the whole design and everything, all the decisions that go into that are made by a human being, me. So I would disagree that digital art is not art. I think it is. But again, different people, different opinions. In terms of doing the abstract art, I did try many years ago using acrylic paint on canvas. I found it very difficult. And it was partly, well, mainly because I wasn't really familiar with acrylic paint. And you know, trying to learn any new medium, it's quite a steep learning curve initially. I know when I started doing watercolor landscapes, it was a slow, sometimes frustrating process trying to get results that I wanted in the final painting. So it's the same, abstract painting with acrylic or oil or whatever. There is a learning process there. Using the computer removes some of that or speeds up. It has a much shallower learning curve. It's easy to create a nice crisp circle using a computer program compared to, say, trying to do it with oil paint or acrylic paint. So it is one advantage of using a digital program like this. There are, of course, other advantages. I can easily change the shape of things. I can move things around, and you can see me doing this. I can change color schemes and so on and so on. If I was doing all of that with paint, it would, well, with acrylic paint it would be very difficult. Oil paint, you can always scrape it off the canvas to some extent and start again. That's quite an expensive process, of course, because you're wasting lots of paint. And with acrylic, because it dries so fast, you can't really do that. These are some of the, I was going to say paintings and then I stopped. I'm not sure what I want to call them. Some of the artwork, let's say that. some of the abstract artwork that I've created over the last few days, last week or so. It's something that I'll continue exploring. And of course it is possible that, you know, in 6 months, whatever, down the road, I might, if I find a design that I really like, I might try and recreate it with acrylic paint or something, if I want to try and get into acrylic painting. Okay, well, if you made it this far, thank you for listening to me ramble on, and hopefully see you in the next video.